Everybody grab the absolute value worksheet. All right, and load that up, and we need to get started. Now, in the last class, what I did was I did as many of the odds. So for you guys, I'm going to do as many as the what? Evens. And then tonight, if you're struggling a little bit, you can go hear the video for the odds if you're not 100% sure. All right? So now, please, here we go. I'm going to knock out the evens. All right? Now, I'm asking a question. Uh-oh. For some reason, it stopped. Yeah, I have to unshare my screen here real quick. Stop share. Sorry about that, guys. Share the screen again. All right, let's see if it connects. Yes, here we go. All right, so now, while I'm expanding the screen here, I want everybody to think about the absolute value of what is 13. The absolute value of what is 13? Yes, someone said it already. The absolute value of what? 13. Is that the only answer, 13? The other answer is? Yes. So the reason why kids hate absolute value equations is because there's always how many answers? Two. There's always two answers. All right? You have to write the equation twice. But unfortunately, or I should say fortunately for us in this case, if absolute value of x equals 13, I would like everybody to just say x equals plus or minus 13. All right, now if you wrote x equals 13, and then you wrote x equals negative 13, that's the same thing. Is everybody with me? Well, because we want to be quick, they developed a shortcut for when the answers are opposite. So it's just plus or minus 13. What?
Sorry, I just don't know why it would be negative since it's absolute value.
So what is the absolute value of negative 13, Oscar?
Positive 13.
That's why the answer is negative 13. And what's the absolute value of 13?
13.
So those are the two numbers that if we take the absolute value of them, they will equal 13. Right? We're trying to find what number can I put in here that when I take the absolute value of it, it will be 13. All right, that's the difference. Before I was saying what's the absolute value of negative 13, and you would just say it's 13. Right? The answer was always positive. Now we're going backwards again. All right? So again, two solutions. All right? Now, number 4. The absolute value of what is negative 1.75, Oscar?
Positive. No, positive 1.
What?
Positive 1.7.
What? It is no solution. Thank you. That's the time when it's not going to have two solutions. That's the time when it's not going to have two solutions. Because why? Can the absolute value be negative? Distance cannot be negative. Distance is negative is a direction. All right? Absolute value cannot be negative. So those are the two little things you got to be careful of. All right? Make yourself a good note there. All right? Because periodically throughout these, you're going to have no solutions. If you don't remember that rule, you're going to do a bunch of work, and you're going to go, wow, I should have known that was no solution. All right, so now we start a little bit more difficult. Oh my goodness, it dropped it again. Sorry guys, I don't know why it's doing that. I may hardwire it since I'm having some issues. Sorry guys, give me 1 second.
Oh,
Is it back now? All right, that's so weird. All right. So again, sorry about that, guys. I don't have time to mess around, so we got a lot of work to do. So if it does it again, we're just gonna redo it. Okay, so now, here is the rule for solving an absolute value. I want everyone in here to be able to tell me if I did the absolute value of 3, that would equal 3. Does everybody agree with that? And then I'd also want you to say the absolute value of negative 3 is also what? That's why we're saying there's two equations. So I want what's inside the absolute value to either be 3, or I want what's inside the absolute value to be what? That's how you do it. You're always writing two equations. So we tell kids to solve an absolute value, what you do is you write what's inside the absolute value and you set it equal to the number. Then you rewrite the absolute value again, but you set it equal to the opposite of that number. And now it's just a matter of solving. All right? So to solve this, we would subtract 11. So x would either equal, what is it? X equals?
Minus 14.
3 minus 11, guys.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at the other
3
one.
minus
Sorry.
11
3 minus
is what?
11 is minus 8.
Someone help me with a calculator. -8. Or -3 minus 11, which is now what?
Minus
-14.
14. This
Thank
time
you,
around.
guys. All right, please, come on, guys, get in the game. All right, the mental math is important. I don't need a calculator for 3 minus 11. And if you do, it's okay. Just get your calculator ready. When I ask questions, let's go. Don't write down my answers. All right, you're calculating them on your own. That's helpful. All right, here we go. Number 8. You have to write both equations. All right? So when we write both equations, we're going to say 2x minus 7 equals what? 13. And then 2x minus 7 equals? That's how you do it every single time. That's how you write both equations. All right? Now to solve that, I'm going to add 7, which makes it 2x equals 20. And so x equals 10. Now I'm going to add 7, so 2x equals -6, and so x is, wow, we're so fast today, guys. Congratulations. 6 divided by 2. Some of you are thinking about that.
Well, you know,
What? Oscar? If it's an oddly absolute value, you have no idea what that means. The rule, Oscar, is to set what's inside the absolute value equal to 13 and set what's inside the absolute value equal to -13. Don't make up your own rules. Then no, I would have said change it to +7. That's what I would have told you. I didn't tell you that, so that can't possibly be right. You're not just changing the -7 to a +7. The 2x is influenced by the 7. 2x minus 7 is a lot different than 2x plus 7. All right, here we go. Number 10. All right, here we go. Morgan, write me the two equations. Go. You are awesome. Thank you for listening. So now what? Yep. And then what? Yep. Perfect. Thank you. -4. Now the second equation, same principle. Good. Good. Yeah, that's how easy it is, guys. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. All right? Write two equations. Now, notice here, we say the absolute value is isolated. So I want everybody to put a star on number 12. All right, and what I want to do on number 12 is this was supposed to be a minus sign. Sorry, guys. The absolute value of x minus 9 equals 13. So why is this one different? Why is this one different than the previous problem? Because we say the absolute value is not isolated. So what's the problem? The problem right now is this what? This minus 9. That minus 9 is in the way. So how do I get rid of that minus 9? You just add 9. That's it. That isolates the absolute value. As soon as I do plus 9, now the absolute value is isolated. So absolute value of x is equal to 22. And if the absolute value of x is equal to 22, then we can just say x is either equal to 22 or x could be negative 22. But for those of you guys who are paying attention, you can just say, like Oscar said, plus or minus 22. So please take a look at number 12 now. Understand the difference of isolated and not isolated. All right, so here we go with 14. Okay, I need some help on here. What do I have to do first on number 14? All right, Oscar, give it a shot. What am I doing? Adding 7. Thank you, sir, for listening. 5, absolute value of x is equal to what? 30. Then what? Yes, sir. Thank you. Absolute value of x is equal to 6. And now the absolute value is isolated. So now what can I do? My answer is yes, plus or minus 6. I'm happy with that.
Can you go back to 12 real quickly? I missed it on accident, and I think it's important. One got 2 equal signs.
All right, I'm ready for question number 16. Here we go. Let me have one of my homeschool peeps. Christine, let's go. Tell me what to do on 16.
You add 3.
Add 3. Thank you.
And then that's 7.
And then what?
Equals 7. And then divide by 7.
You are amazing. So what does that equal?
2 minus x equals 1.
Yes, and now how do I write the two equations?
And then you do x equals 2x. 2 minus x equals, is it
The number.
equals 1. And then
Write it as,
x, 2, wait.
yep, 2 minus x.
2 minus x equals positive or negative 1?
Yeah, just put, no, negative 1 right there. So here, you can't just do plus or minus because
Right.
there's something else inside the absolute value. You said it equal to 1, and then you said it equal to negative 1.
Yeah, and then x equals 1, positive or negative.
Right, so we're going to, I like what you said, but let's go ahead and subtract 2 from both sides. So negative x equals negative 1. And then remember, if the x is negative, that just means change the signs. That's all it means, change the signs. So x equals 1. All right, now for the second equation, go ahead. What do I got?
X equals negative 3.
Yes, negative x equals negative 3. And so your final answer there is?
X equals 3.
Thank you very much. Hopefully that makes sense. All my homeschool peeps, you good? Anybody have any questions? All right, let's try to knock out 18. Okay, number 18 is a fantastic problem. Jake, tell me, bud. Go.
If you divide by 3.
Divide by 3. So I have 4x minus 7 equals?
Negative 7.
So now what's the answer? No, what's the answer? Can the absolute value?
Oh, no, it's no.
Yay. Again, you're going to make a mistake on the test. And some of you, if you don't check to see if it's negative, you're going to write out all the equations and add, do all that work, and then realize that was kind of dumb. Absolute value cannot equal a negative, so automatically no solution. All right, Weber, you're up. 20. What do I have to do first on 20? That's right. Multiply by 5. Thank you. Now what?
Then you add 10.
Not yet. You have to write the two equations now.
Okay, so you write the two equations.
So 5x minus 10 equals what?
-10.
And? Right, but I want you to say 5x minus 10 equals 10. And then I want you to say 5x minus 10 equals -10. That's how you write both equations every single time. You isolate the absolute value and then you write the two equations. Now, if you're good at solving equations, this is easy. If you're horrible at solving equations, now I'm really trying to help you again with solving equations. So what do I do first now?
So now, obviously
Add 10, so 5x equals,
20,
and so x equals,
4.
beautiful. Over here, 5x equals,
0,
yes, so x equals,
0.
you're awesome. Thank you. That's very good. I'm happy with that. All right, Davis, let's see how you're doing. All right, 22, buddy. What do I have to do first?
Okay, first what you do is 4x plus 1 in the two lines.
That's our absolute values.
And then you do equals -15, and then you write that again and say 4x.
No,
plus-
no. What's in the way? I'm highlighting something. Did you not see this guy right here?
The 7, yes.
So what do I do with that?
So with that, what you do is you say 7, and then you do
How do I undo this +7, Davis?
by subtracting 7.
Come on now, tell me, do you understand that or not?
Yes.
Okay, you subtract 7. So now negative absolute value 4x plus 1 equals -22. Anybody have any issues with that? Now, what else is in the way there, Davis?
The negative
That's correct. So how do I get rid of a negative?
by making it a positive.
Yeah, so now we would just say absolute value of 4x plus 1 equals 22. Now, some of you might say that's no solution. It wasn't no solution because there was a negative in front of the absolute value. Now, Davis, write both equations. Let's hear it loud and proud. Go.
Okay, so now what you would do is you would say 4x plus plus 11.
That's a 1, by the way.
Oh, 1. Oh, my bad. My bad. 1. And then equals 22.
And then?
And then you do 4x plus 1 equals -22.
All right, okay. Now we're in business. That's what you're doing. Okay? Now, 4x equals what?
4x equals 1. Oh, wait, no. 4x equals 22
How do I get rid of the plus 1, Davis?
by subtracting 1.
Subtracting 1. So 4x equals?
21. 4x equals
Now what?
21.
That's good. Now what?
And then you divide by 4.
Right. And 21 doesn't divide by 4 evenly, so you
So
just
it's
leave it.
21 over 4.
Now,
And
solve
then
this one. What do I do?
And then you add, you do 4x minus 1, equals -22
You're subtracting 1.
minus 1, so it would be -23. And then
I can do this.
it can't go in evenly, so it would be -23 over 4.
Yes. Come on now. All right, you got practicing to do. All right, anybody have any questions with number 22? What? Because it's not inside the parentheses. You have to isolate the absolute value. That means get this by itself. It's not by itself right now because there's a negative sign. Move the negative over.
So you multiply.
Isolate the absolute value. Whatever you want to do, you want to multiply by negative or divide by negative. I don't care. It's the same thing. All right, here we go. Number 24. Now, some of the kids had trouble reading this, so I'm going to do this real quick. This is my absolute value. All right. So with that, all right, I wish someone would say, well, I'm not 100% sure how I'm doing here, so I'd like to try it. All right, that's the way it should be going through your head.
May I try, Mr. Stroud?
Who's that?
Luca Pica?
No. Just kidding. You can go. What do I need to do, Mr. Pica?
So you have to add 10s. You have to subtract the 10 from the 79.
No. Pay attention. That is multiplication.
Oh.
So what do I have to
that'd
get
be
rid of?
different. What?
You're close. What do I have to get rid of?
The 10 and the 1,
No,
too.
not the 10 first.
The 1?
Yes. Specifically, that's a -1.
Yes.
So
So
what
then
do I
you
have to
do
do?
that, you have to add 1.
Right. There you go.
So then
Come
it
on.
becomes 10, 10 for
What?
absolute value of minus 3x plus 11 equals 80.
Right. Now what do I do?
Then I think you get rid of the 10
How do I
So
do
you-
that? And
by
don't you
dividing.
correct. What do I do?
By doing that, you have to divide, so then it's the
Ah,
absolute value
thank you.
3x plus 11.
No, that's a
Wait, no,
one.
3x plus 1, my apologies, equals 8.
Now what?
Then I think you subtract the 1.
I have to write both equations. What are the two equations?
3x plus 1 equals 9.
What are you saying? Negative 3x plus 1 equals 8.
Oh, yes, negative 3x plus 1 equals 8.
And then what?
And then minus 3x plus minus 1 equals minus 7, I think.
Listen. You have to write both equations first. First, write both equations. There are two
Okay.
equations that are coming out of this absolute value. You write it once, 8, then you write it again, -8.
Got
Right
it.
on this.
What did
Hey.
you say? I can't really hear you.
Well, can you hear me now? I've got mine on full blast.
Yes, I can hear.
All right. So now, listen, I want you to understand I appreciate what you're doing. So now you have to
Okay.
tell me, do you understand what I just said so far?
Yeah.
You isolate the absolute value, then you write two equations.
Got it.
Now you solve. And how do I solve that?
Okay, so for the first one, you subtract the 1. So then you
Good.
get minus 3x equals 7.
So x equals what?
Then x equals 7 over 3.
-7/3.
Oh,
You're all right, man. You're all right. I'm pointing out mistakes. That's what's going to happen. Everybody's got to be careful. You're in the same boat with everybody else. Come on now. Don't be frustrated. You're learning. That's it. All right. Just
All right.
now, be careful with the next one. What's the next one?
then is it minus 3x equals minus 9?
Yay. There you go. So now x equals what?
X equals regular 3.
Yay. There you go. Come on. You're learning something. All right. It's a process. Isolate the absolute value. Then you write both equations. Then you solve both equations. That's the process. What, Oscar? I don't know what you're talking about. What ifs? I'm just saying that's the problem.
For the negative
Why are you changing my, that would make me wrong, Oscar. You know that. Right? And I'm not wrong, ever. Whatever you're thinking is wrong. I don't know what you're wanting me to change. I'm changing nothing because that is correct. Where are you saying negative 79? I don't know. Where is there a negative 79? Where is there a negative 79? Where is there a negative 79? I don't understand what you're asking me. I said isolate the absolute value. So you add 1 to both sides. That becomes 80. Then you divide both sides by 10. That becomes 8. That's the process.
I know, but I'm talking about the negative solution.
This negative, so this, what do you, where's the 79? I don't understand, where's the 79 over here? Why are you asking me about 79? All right, now look, Oscar, here we go. Pay attention now. Oscar, come on, look up. I might understand what you're saying, but listen, it's easy to check my work because I'm going to plug 3 in. Please, I haven't done this at all, so I want everybody to pay attention. All right, so I think I understand what he's saying. Alden, are you paying attention? I'm going to plug 3 in. We're going to plug 3 into the equation, and you're going to do the mental math with me because I don't feel like writing it all out. We're good enough to do the mental math. So I'm going to plug 3 in right here. What's negative 3 times 3? What's negative 3 times 3? Oh my goodness. Will someone please tell me? Negative 9. Negative 9 plus 1. Negative 8. What's the absolute value of negative 8? 8 times 10 minus 1. That works.
Wow.
That's how I know that's an answer. And what do you think is going to happen when I plug in negative 7/3 up here? The final answer is going to be what, Oscar? The final answer is going to be 79. That is correct. Listen, I'm being stubborn on this with Oscar for one reason, because I'm telling you the algorithm to solve the problem. Don't deviate from what I'm showing you. If there was a different plan, I would tell you what that plan is. That's the way you solve absolute value equations. You isolate the absolute value first, then you write 2 equations. One is equal to the positive answer, and the second equation is equal to the negative answer. And then you just have 2 equations. And like I said, if you're good at solving equations, that's a piece of cake. If you're horrible at solving equations, this is a nightmare. Because now you have 2 equations to solve. All right? That's why it's good to do these. We're clearing up any problems you had with solving equations. All right? And again, hopefully that made some sense. Are you guys telling me we have just a couple minutes left? Is that what y'all are doing? How much? All right. So now, tonight, try to get 26 through 30 done. Try to do 26 through 30. But then most important is review and make sure you're good. All right? Make sure you're good. And actually, I kind of wanted you to do the odds. But again, I don't really know some of you, how you're doing. All right? Are you just writing things down? Are you understanding what I'm saying? That's the key I'm trying to teach you guys. Right? Don't just write things down. And I've really fussed at Oscar a little bit, but that's because I want to show you the algorithm. All right? Don't deviate from the plan. All right? It makes it more confusing. All right? Please get some work done. All right? Get some work done. Tomorrow, we're just reviewing these 2 topics. That's it. All right, you guys. Have a great day. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye, Charles. Thank you.